It's clear we're in a cryptocurrency bull run, but it's not really just cryptocurrencies, it's all asset classes. And when we look at cryptocurrencies, where is Bitcoin actually headed? And could it really hit this $1 million per coin theory? If so, then you're probably still early if you have any type of Bitcoin at this current moment. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how this could potentially be a $1 million per coin and everything behind it going to that price projection. And I know it sounds crazy and probably most likely impossible, but there are factors and things that are happening and that could take place in which that does not seem too far-fetched. One thing that I'd like to say before I even dive into everything, my personal opinion at Bitcoin going to $1 million is if Bitcoin is at $1 million, that means that everything else around it is probably overvalued as well, meaning even the average car would be quadruple its normal price. Now, let's get into exactly how this looks. Welcome, if you're new to the channel. My name is Matt Jimenez. I'm an entrepreneur who has worked with the greatest minds in finance, and I'm here to pour into you guys everything they pour into me. So today we're talking about Bitcoin's hidden cycle and the reason why prices are set to explode even much further than where we're at today, and exactly what you need to claim your piece of the pie. This is something you want to pay full attention to. So Bitcoin's price doesn't randomly shoot up or crash. It follows a secret pattern that 99% of people don't even know about. And I say 99% of people because most people actually don't own Bitcoin. And for those that do own, we've all heard of this. It's the halving cycle. So this piece of information is someone new to Bitcoin that hasn't heard of it. If you've heard of this, I can assure you the other things that I'm going to talk about are much more in depth. Here's how it works. Every 4 years, the amount of new Bitcoin entering the markets get cut in half. This is built into Bitcoin's code. It's like a built-in scarcity machine. Imagine this. If fewer and fewer apples were grown each year, but the demand for apples kept rising, what do you think would happen to the price of apples? It would absolutely skyrocket. That's exactly what happens to Bitcoin. And here's some validating proof in how it actually does affect Bitcoin's price. In 2012, Bitcoin had a halving and Bitcoin's price shot up to new heights and then crashed. In 2016, the halving happened again, and it was the same story. We had a huge run that bubbled and then we crashed once more. Then 4 years later in 2020, the halving yet again, Bitcoin went up to 69,000 before pulling back. And now it's 2024 and everyone's going crazy. What's going on with Bitcoin and have I missed the train? In 2024, the halving happened again back in April. That means we're on the brink of another massive bull run, and the cycle might not just be another repeat. It could be the final cycle that takes Bitcoin to $1 million per coin. Now let's talk about why Bitcoin could actually hit $1 million. And I know you're probably thinking, $1 million, you're crazy. Let me just show you why this isn't just possible, it's actually probable. Big companies are buying Bitcoin like crazy. MicroStrategy, a company you've probably never heard of, owns 1.2% of all Bitcoin. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings surpass 400,000 Bitcoin. That's over $25 billion worth. And guess what? They're not alone. Every day, more companies are jumping on the Bitcoin bandwagon. Now, why is that? Because it's the best way to protect themselves from inflation and boost their bottom line. And if you saw my last video where I talk about money printing and how it actually affects asset prices, you would understand exactly what I just said a bit further. And if you haven't seen that video, just click this link up above. Now, this means the demand for Bitcoin is going through the roof, but simultaneously, the supply is shrinking because of the halving. This goes back to the Apple analogy I gave earlier, and even the governments are getting in. El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, and I know everyone knows about this, but it's about to get even crazier. The United States might be buying 1 million Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. Investing.com made a very compelling article, and the title is Trump's Bitcoin Bet, a strategic reserve for the future. And I just want to read a little bit of the most important things you need to understand about this. The headline, a strategic reserve for the future. As an official currency reserve, Bitcoin is becoming increasingly relevant in the light of global economic changes. In recent years, cryptocurrencies in particular have attracted the attention of investors, technology companies, and government agencies, which view them as potential alternative reserve assets. This is due to the growing economic instability and volatility of traditional fiat currencies. Countries and companies seek new ways to protect their financial system and savings. Now, with all of that being said, if we just reflect on the magnitude of what can happen to Bitcoin's price if it becomes a strategic reserve for countries, especially like the US. This means the supply is getting cut in half every 4 years, but the demand is going through the roof because countries like the US will be buying enormous amounts of Bitcoin. And we all know basic economics. If supply is decreasing but demand is increasing, so is the price. We have to understand there's only 21 Bitcoin that will ever exist, and the US government wants to scoop up 1 million of them. If they do this, other countries will have no choice but to follow suit, and the math will add up. For Bitcoin to hit 1 million, it needs to match gold's market cap, which is around 12 trillion. And today's prices, Bitcoin is worth almost 2 trillion. That is just a 6x increase. In the world of Bitcoin, that's not a stretch. It's practically inevitable. Now, the real question is, are you late or early to the party? Zooming out on a 10-year time span, you are early. I know prices are extremely high right now, but that's extremely zoomed in because you're just looking at it right now, which is 2024 at a new all-time high. So on a smaller time horizon, of course, it doesn't look like you're early. If we zoom out on a longer time horizon, Bitcoin has only been positive. So start small. Don't throw your life savings into Bitcoin. This isn't financial advice, but if I had to start today, I would probably start with about 5% of my portfolio. Make sure you use the right platform. One that I really like to use is Swan Bitcoin. Reason being is I can actually accumulate Bitcoin on a set interval in which every single day or every week, whatever I want to set to, it'll buy X amount of Bitcoin. So if I want to do $5 a day, $10 a day, $100 a week, it'll automatically make those purchases. But the best thing is I'm not going to get hit over the head with fees like all these other platforms. For instance, if you bought Bitcoin on Coinbase and you continuously buy it on Coinbase, you'll pay an immense amount of money straight to the fees, which you could actually be using that money to continue stacking the amount of Bitcoin that you have. And secondly, the most important thing about Swan is they only focus on Bitcoin. So they're not showing you all the flashy altcoins and all the potential scams and bad actors in the space. You stick to exactly what has been proven, which is only Bitcoin at this current time. Next, you want to make sure you secure your Bitcoin. You don't want to leave it on a random exchange. Move it to a hardware wallet like a Ledger or Trezor to keep it safe from hackers. And back to the main point I was saying is Bitcoin on a long time horizon has always won. So you need to think long term. Bitcoin's price doesn't just go up, it also goes down. But over the long haul, it's been one of the best performing assets to ever exist. This isn't about getting rich quick, it's about building generational wealth. And again, this isn't financial advice, but the truth is you don't want to miss out again because Bitcoin's next bull run is already started. And if you wait too long, you're going to miss out. Don't sit on the sidelines while companies, governments, and Wall Street scoop up all the Bitcoin. Make sure that you secure some for yourself and your future family. And if you like this video, please leave me a like, comment, and or subscribe. And if you want to find out more about what I'm doing and our community is doing, you could join our Signal suite in which we have cryptocurrencies that we're taking positions in on our own personal portfolio in which you could follow suit and do what you want with that information. But there has been amazing performance inside of our community alongside all of our algorithms that our community also has access to use. So if that sounds interesting, hit the links down below. And if you just found this valuable, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.